OKO of Twisted Frog Racing. I'm here with my dad, Jeremy, and the wait is over because here's Johnny Schultz, that is. John, can you tell us about how you got started in RC racing?
Yeah, I started back in '85, which is a long time ago, and like 35 years ago. And I always wanted to race full-size cars, but never could afford it. So I bought an RC car and started racing and never looked back.
Last summer, I had the chance to meet you, drive your gatekeeper at Die Hard RC Park. How awesome is it to have a job that includes going around the country and driving RC cars with fans?
It took me, I've been doing this for a long time, so I slowly worked my way from doing events and stuff, and then I just kind of started going out and seeing shops and doing events with you guys, which is a lot of fun.
By the way, thank you again for the element hat. That was the day I decided to build a gatekeeper. So I guess you are pretty good at your job. How do I work towards getting a job like yours?
You just have to be passionate. You just have to love what you do, and get a good education. A good education in marketing would take you very far in this position. Marketing and just knowing RC. So you have to stay passionate in RC and be good with marketing. And when a job opens up at your favorite RC company, go apply and hope for the best.
What can we expect in the future from the Element brand?
Oh, we're constantly working on new cars. We just released the new HD, and we just plan on making it better, stronger, and more user friendly as we go. So we have a lot of things planned.
I love the Easter eggs on the inside of the box. How does the company decide what things to put out into the world?
The Easter eggs, first we have to come up with a name for our next product, and then we just kind of have to find out what goes with that name, but it kind of all works together. So, we're always going to put Easter eggs in all of our boxes, or you have to look on, our social media. Brad Geck is very good with our social media. So, you just have to kind of put clues together and see what happens, and see what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm. I saw the news today about the updated B6.3. Can you tell us anything specific?
Honestly, I haven't been in the racing. I think it's C&D blocks, new shock towers, some different frame rail or side pieces. I believe that's about it. So Jared, just some new stuff to make it work a little bit better, more traction, better cornering, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think it's great that Team Associated updates the cars as the team racers find advantages. Can you tell me about that process?
It's really nowadays, with the race cars being so competitive and so fast, it takes a lot of testing, a lot of tuning. Back in the day where we would race on loose surfaces, you could get away with an average car. You can make it up in the in the corners or down the straightaway with a little bit more power. Nowadays, the tracks are so high bite, carpet racing, so high bite and so fast, you can't make mistakes. So instead of changing a car, a millimeter or two at a time, we're changing stuff, a tenth of a millimeter at a time, just to get that extra tenth of a second per lap. So it takes quite a while for us to come out with a product that we're actually going to sell to the public. So it's a long process.
Mm-hmm. And just to be clear, the B6.2 chassis is longer than the B6.1 chassis, right?
Yeah, yes.
By like 2 millimeters?
I think so, yes.
Can you tell us what has drawn you to no prep?
Say what? Say that again?
Can you tell us what's drawing you to no prep?
What brought me to no prep is we just kind of, we were drag racing track, and tracks, usually you can only race when they set up. So you can only race once or twice a month if you have a track in your local area. So we decided to basically kind of, there was quite a few of us decided, hey, let's go to the street and race our track cars at on a street. And that didn't work out too well. We hit a lot of curbs or broke a lot of parts. And so we kind of took our short course trucks, and there were some bodies that fit it that looked kind of like a no prep car, and kind of started from there. And it's grown leaps and bounds, especially with the whole COVID thing, and racetracks are closed and big crawling events are closed. People still want to go out and race, so we're getting a lot of people from crawling and racing meeting up in streets and racing. And you can race anywhere. You don't have to race at a track. You don't have to race on a prep surface. It's, you're racing the guy next to you, and you just get your car to go the fastest wherever you're at.
What chassis and electronics do you run in no prep? Please be specific.
Okay. You want my secrets, I hear.
Mm-hmm.
On my 13.5 car, I'm running basically a box stock DR10 with a Reedy 13.5, a Reedy 510R, and then our Reedy Shorty servo. Everything is stock chassis-wise except for the oils. I have them identical to my Outlaw car, but I do run reaction tires on the rear, and I do run a Drag Race Concepts a shock tower with their sway bar setup. And then my Outlaw car it's got a lot of work into it. It's it's the same car I started with over 2 years ago, and I slowly just kind of created to what it is now. It is a DR10, but there's a lot of hop ups. I have the carbon fiber undercover Renegade chassis for it with the front kick up. It is all DR10 gearbox and everything in it, plastic gears, no metal gears, stock gearbox with 200,000 weight diff oil in the rear. And then I am running B5 shocks and shock towers, which are lower, so I can lower the body down a little bit closer with a Super J body on that.
Okay. Front and rear shock oil weight?
Front oil is 80 weight, and rear shock oil is 200 or 2,000 diff oil with shock oil.
Okay.
Well, it's not shock oil; it's diff oil. It's 2,000 diff oil.
Okay. What diff fluid weight?
It really depends on the track I go to. If I go to like today, I was testing in Vegas, and in IKEA parking lot, it's not high grip; it's like a medium grip. So I'll usually run a thinner oil, like 200,000. If I go to a surface that's really high bite, like concrete, like a brush concrete, I will go to 500,000. But I usually don't go any thicker than that.
Mm-hmm. I have a DR10 that I am building. Any tips or tricks that you can share with me?
Yeah, take your time. Make sure that everything is nice and free. Make sure your arms are free. Make sure there's no binding in any of the ball cups. You want the car to be square. What I mean by that is after you get the car built, if you picked up the front end, you want your tires to leave the ground at the same time. Do the same with the rear. Make sure the rear tires come off the ground at the same time. And then you also want to make sure your wheelie bar wheels touch the ground when you push them down all the way to the ground at the same time. If any of those come off the ground differently, your car is going to turn that way. And just take your time with power. Start off slow and slowly put power in your car until you meet its maximum, the maximum the car will hold. So a lot of people they overpower their cars. They never go straight. They wear out a lot of tires. They crash a lot. You just want the car to go A to B nice and fast and smooth and consistent. It's all about being consistent.
Mm-hmm. You raced at KOTS this year. What did you learn to prepare better for next year?
Wow. Every time I race, it's a learning. So, I mean, this year, I just know I need to make sure I have a good, smooth, low traction setup. I think the traction at that track was a equalizer. It took away a lot of the guys with the horsepower, but it let the guys that didn't have a lot of horsepower able to make good passes. So it's all about being consistent. I need to, like today, my car only ran 2.1s at 68 mile an hour, but I did 2.1 at 68 mile an hour every pass. So I just want to be consistent, and then I'll slowly put power where I need it.
Did you play it safe, or did you let the big dog eat?
I actually played it. Sorry, I actually played it safe. We went to IKEA the day before, and I saw the ground was pretty similar to IKEA parking lot. I made a good A to B pass, and I felt that the car was consistent and smooth, and it got me through until I didn't. And what happened is the wind picked up and blew some, I think the ground got a little dusty, and I should have turned the car down. But when you're lining up and gets lined with people of that caliber, it's hard to say, hey, I'm going to take power out of my car. Yeah. So next time I'm definitely going to learn to watch the track and watch the dust and the wind and hopefully be a little more on top of that.
Did you have any good luck charms or superstitions?
No, I don't. I do not. I don't have any luck. No, I just do the best I can, and I go there to have fun. I go there to hang out with friends, and if I win, great, and if I don't, great. You got to keep a positive attitude. Try to help out as many people as you can when you're there, and just have a good time. Enjoy the hobby.
It seems like many people are concerned about big money RC racing. What are your thoughts?
I think it's the wrong direction to go. I think if we keep them around $10 to $20, buy-ins, and have little pots, and then maybe have that one or two big races a year, I think that's where it needs to be. But making every race a $50 or $100 buy-in, it's just going to kill it, because people, are struggling to put, $80 worth of tires on your car and then pay $100. That there's a good chance you're not going to get that back, especially nowadays. So I think that keeping the entry fees around $10 for 13.5 and $20 for Outlaw, I think that's a perfect place.
So maybe every month have a Die Hard Cash Days, and every year have a KOTS?
Yes, I think that's it. And I know that, the United States is a very big place. And I know there's one here. There's one a big race in Oklahoma. There's a big one in South Carolina. There's another big one in Kansas. And that's okay. But having, $1,200 buy-ins in, the Southwest region, I think that's way too much.
I'm guessing Team Associated is going to be pretty proud to be the first company to dive into the market with a ready-built, no-prep car. Are there any plans for an updated version? Do tell.
Yeah, we are very proud to be the first. And what was cool about that is I've been racing. The car is we call it a 5 Series, which is our DB10. DB stands for dirt buggy. Mm-hmm. And we also have a Pro SE 10 and a rat rod. It's all the same chassis, and I've been running that chassis setup for a long time. And when no prep started to take off, I brought my car and I said, hey, we need to make this. And it was pretty quick. It happened really, really quick, because normally making something new like that takes a year and a half. So we're very proud. And as far as your second question, we are Team Associated. We are always working to develop and design future products.
Are you surprised to see other companies wait so long to jump into the market?
Yes and no. one company just came out with one car, and you figure that it took so long they would come out with a whole brand new base of a car, but it's really kind of the same platform, which is great. And then the new release is going to, I think, is going to be the same thing. So taking that long, maybe they were sitting back and just seeing what direction was going. Because remember, it's a lot of money to develop and design something that doesn't sell. So sometimes you just got to take that leap of faith like we did and jump on it. So, yeah, I am kind of shocked, but at the same time, I understand.
So you seem to be the crawler guy for so long, and now you really seem to be full gas with no prep. If you only have one, which would it be and why?
Oh, I can't only have one. I gotta have both. Can I drag race my crawler, or can I crawl my drag car? Sometimes my car is so slow I could be crawling it. The only reason why it seems like I'm doing more drag racing lately than in crawling is because there really isn't that many big crawling events that's happening. Trolling by the Fire is supposed to be coming in May. I really look forward to that event. So hopefully that happens. Like we have the Scale National that's happening this next weekend. That was supposed to happen last year. So we'll see. My heart is for both. I love going fast, but I also like going out, hanging out with my buddies, and crawling on a rock too. So picking one, I don't know if I can do that. That's tough.
Let's say you only had enough money for one. Which one would you put your money into?
It'd probably be crawling, because my drag car, I probably have more money in my drag car than most of my crawlers put together.
Sean, thank you so much for taking your time today to talk with us.
Absolutely.
Today's interview was brought to you by McLaren Racing and Element RC. To all those listening, please like my Facebook page, Twisted Frog Racing, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Twisted Frog.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me.
You're welcome.